What is good, Osiris here, stuck in the middle. I do uploads every day at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you for joining. Do you want to get a good laugh?
Standing there when a new Voting Rights Act for this century is there, and the rights that were struggled, that so many lives were taken, so much courage was demonstrated, are preserved once again. I turn it back over to you for the questions, and thank you very much for all that you and all of your colleagues are doing here today.
Thank you.
We will overcome. We will overcome. We will overcome someday. Deep in our heart,
I do believe we will overcome someday.
Thank you, Miss T.
Why would you ever think of arresting them? Governor Abbott, let them do what they're doing. They're digging their own grave. This is embarrassing.
I do believe we will
That is not going to age well. They want so badly to take us back to the 60s. Oh, man, they've gone to new depths, new lows, and this whole thing is escalating though to more performative theater. The Democrats pounding on their desk in Ohio, Lauren Boebert going outrageous on the floor, really attacking the president's son, being right, but now she's toxic. Marjorie Taylor Greene, AOC. Now the Texas legislators. Texas is holding a special session. I did a video on this yesterday. They're holding a special session to pass new voting laws and other things. These laws, of course, will favor the GOP. Most of Texas is red. They have the majority. They have the majority in the legislative branch. They have the governor and Governor Abbott. They're going to do it. The Democrats cannot stop it. So what they're doing is they're putting on this theater. They left. They ran away to D.C. with a pack of Miller Lite, and they are ready to go and not come back. This is the same party that says the filibuster is a legacy of white supremacy. At least Nina Turner said that. And many of them say we don't want the filibuster. This is in the Senate. And they are applauding a group of Democratic state legislators who are basically, they just created their own filibuster. They are preventing a vote in this special session from passing voter laws in Texas. Their trip away from Texas is funded by Texans, and it is disenfranchising Texans, the most of which are Republican, most of which do agree with these voting laws. Yet, because they have the media, they are being portrayed as heroes. And Governor Abbott better not make that mistake of arresting them when they come back. Because all this talk about them being courageous and them being heroes, when clearly they are not on the right side here. I mean, just objectively, they're wasting taxpayers' money. What they're doing is illegal. Republicans have the domination in the state. Like, they don't have any ground to stand on. That's why they're doing cringe things like singing "We Shall Overcome," trying to take us back to Jim Crow when that's not where we're at right now. They're being lauded as courageous for trying to take us back to Jim Crow when that's not a good thing, at least for me. They want pity. They want to be victims. James Tallarico is a 32-year-old state representative, youngest legislator. He's very young. That doesn't matter to me. But what he's doing is stupid. He tweets, "My Democratic colleagues and I are leaving the state to break quorum and kill the Texas voter suppression bill. We're flying to D.C. to demand Congress pass the For the People Act and save our democracy." This is what the young man is doing. Special session is over. Just landed in Memphis on our way to D.C. Thank y'all for your well wishes. We have sacrificed, is what he's trying to say. Sacrificed what for what? We left behind families, livelihoods, our beloved Texas. Obviously, you only love the Democratic part of Texas, right? Because the Republicans don't want you to do this. Our sacrifice is nothing compared to the sacrifices of brave Americans have made throughout history to protect the sacred right to vote. They're not taking away the right to vote. Who's falling for this stuff? No one. We're prepared to stay out of Texas for the rest of the session. Wasn't an easy decision. We left kids, elderly parents, sick loved ones. Hey, y'all made the choice. This is not a sacrifice. You just made the choice to do this for performative politics. There's nothing you're going to accomplish in DC. So this is not for anything. Don't act like it is. Don't make yourself courageous, because we will decide if you're courageous or not. They're doing everything in their power to try to minimize the possibility that a non-member of the elite club, a non-elite person, can hold office again. All of this stuff is occurring because their movement is about to be done. It's going to be over 2022. They're getting very scared about that in 2024. Kamala Harris looks like she's a mess. That's going to be a whole big thing to replace. That's why this is all happening. And I said, this is the price of partisanship. GOP and Dems don't intend to work together on anything. So there's no downside to this political toxicity. It's only going to get worse. The only principle for these people, this is Democrats and Republicans. That's why you see me leaning more libertarian. And I've always had that in me. But what's happening now over the last 15 months has pushed me more towards that. That's why you see me talking about Dave Smith. Both of these political parties, the only thing they care about is power, more power. Whatever gets them more power, they will do it. They'll think of it. They'll think of ways to do it. If it works, they'll do it. It doesn't matter if it's healthy for the country. It doesn't matter if it's healthy for your kids or for me. If they think it will take away power, they won't do it. I'm going to end with this. The most disturbing part about this is that you have state legislators running to the federal government for help. Think about that one more time. State legislators running to the federal government for help. Taking power away from this. They left the state in order to try and take power away from the state and give it to the federal government. Why? Because the federal government right now is Democratic friendly. Obviously, they wouldn't have done that if Trump was there, or it'd be a different tone. It wouldn't be trying to give it to the federal government. They're trying to come across as fugitives. You see Jean Wu here literally said, my first meal as a fugitive. Delicious. That makes no sense. You're not making any sense. And they'll do this to take power and give it to whoever they need to give it to. And that's definitely not the people. The only political party that's really trying to give power to the hands of the people are the libertarians. Let that sink in. Think about it. At some point, you might have to say, forget about both of these clown parties. Let's try something else. Take care.